Hey guys, this is WWE superstar Charlotte Flair, and you're listening to WellsMania Podcast. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, is this real? You can see me! You can see me! Welcome to episode 17 of WellsMania Podcast on YouTube, the most underrated wrestling podcast in the world, hosted by this guy, WellsMania, the Kyle Wells. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I got an action-packed, fully loaded show. I've got two very special guests that will be joining me momentarily. Will they be on video? No, they will not. They'll be on audio. This is a hybrid episode of WellsMania Podcast. I'm doing something different on this episode of WellsMania, the most underrated wrestling podcast in the world. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at WellsMania. Like me on Facebook at WellsMania. I do it for Instagram on the gram at WellsMania. And you see that red rectangular, was that a rectangle? That red rectangular box there that says subscribe in white letters. Do me a favor and hit that, why don't you? And by the way, while I've got this face-to-face video time with you all out there, all 6 of you, thank you, or 17. Since this is the 17th episode of WellsMania, there are 17. You know what? I want to know that 17 people watched WellsMania. So tweet at WellsMania and let me know. I was the first to watch. I was the second to watch. I was the third to watch. I was the 10th. 17. That's all I want is 17 viewers for this episode. So, while I've got this face-to-face time with you, why is it so hard for people to hit the like button on a Facebook post? Why is it so hard for people to retweet a tweet that they obviously see but they keep scrolling by? Why is it so hard to hit that red button that says subscribe? What is going on out there? Why do people fear their precious timelines and Facebook news feeds? Now, I know that professional wrestling is not for everybody. I get that. I understand that. But there are a lot of wrestling fans out there. More that should be knowing what WellsMania Podcast is all about. But yet, for some reason, I still fly under the radar. And that's why I am the most underrated wrestling podcast in the world, WellsMania. If you would like a WellsMania t-shirt, let me know. We could make this happen. I could print out some more of these and send them to you. But, you got to watch this episode of WellsMania to even know that I even said that. So coming up on this episode, I'm going to dive into WWE Clash of Champions live this Sunday at the Spectrum Center in North Carolina. That's Charlotte Flair country. Woo! And yes, that was Charlotte Flair that you heard on the WellsMania liner. She's a friend of the WellsMania podcast. So if Charlotte Flair listens to WellsMania, you should listen to WellsMania. I've got two very special guests joining me to promote an upcoming event at the Best Damn Karaoke Bar. Best Damn Karaoke Bar in America. I can't sing, but I sure as hell can rap, and I'll get up there on stage and perform my number one karaoke hit, Ice Ice Baby. I'm talking about the Wild Beaver Saloon. There's a very special event taking place there next week. We'll dive more into that here momentarily. I've got some hot takes. I've got some bold predictions. But the only way that you'll know what those are is if you stay tuned. You're watching episode 17 of WellsMania Podcast.
I want it all. I want it all. I want it all. And I want it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to episode 17 of WellsMania Podcast. I am your host, the Kyle Wells, and I am not alone. I've got two very special guests right now joining me in studio. Upstart Pro Wrestling principal owner Jeremy Howell. And the reason I bump in with this legendary, iconic I Want It All by Queen. This is the entrance music for Upstart Pro Wrestling superstar Thomas Wayne Oliver. Jeremy Thomas, welcome to WellsMania. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Now, Jeremy, we've got a big Upstart Pro Wrestling show coming up here later on this month. But before we get to that show, for those that might not know what Upstart Pro Wrestling is, I want you to kind of give a background of who you are, Jeremy Howell, the principal owner of Upstart Pro Wrestling, and how you came about this awesome local independent wrestling company known as Upstart Pro Wrestling.
Sure, be glad to tell you about that. So, myself, I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I'm a college educated.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I always get a little weirded out when people tell me that. I'm always like, you're welcome, but it's better to hear it.
Right.
So, I'm a college educated, went to Indiana State University, rolled timber, Purdue University for my master's. Once I finished my master's, I got more into the indie wrestling scene. I started going to shows. And I went to a few shows, some good, some bad, and I made a very naive mistake to think, oh man, I can do it better. So I decided after getting involved in a few different shows and learning to wrestle, I decided to start my own show. First started by buying a ring, and then went from there. So the whole goal of Upstart is, to provide it's twofold. One, Upstart is for the wrestlers and for the fans. All right, running a wrestling show is very hard. I can only imagine. Yes, thanks. I've learned to be more humble than I was probably 2 months ago. And running a show probably harder than anything I've ever done in any career field. So I decided to start running shows for the wrestlers to make them have a safe working environment. Everybody gets paid. Everybody treats everybody with dignity, respect, which, quite frankly, at some places that's lacking. Not all places, but that is lacking. And I made a mission to start something like that. For the fans, I want to provide good, fan-friendly, family-friendly entertainment that not only emphasizes athleticism, but emphasizes characters, and just is a good time. I run my shows at 5 p.m. on Saturdays. And the whole reason I run them at 5 p.m. is it's not going to take up your whole night. Right. So you can go to a show, if you've never been to a show, and you can enjoy the show. And if you don't enjoy it, whatever, you can still go out to the bars later. But I'm hoping everybody's going to enjoy it.
Yeah. Now, how much does it cost to attend one of your guys' Upstart Pro Wrestling shows?
It's only $12.
$12, people.
And kids under 5 are free.
Kids under 5 are free? You have no excuse. And
it's a small amount of money. That money goes really just to pay the wrestlers and to pay for the building fees and the insurance. There's a lot of things that go in monetarily to running a good show. We could slop together a show in a barn somewhere and not pay anybody, but we're running a good show where everybody gets paid. Everybody feels that they're treated fairly at the end of the day.
Now, Christian Park Gym is where you have hosted your last 2 events. Is that going to be kind of like the home for Upstart Pro Wrestling, or do you have your eyes on other venues around the city of Indianapolis?
Well, Christian Park has been very good to us. When I first started looking into getting running a show, I called plenty of venues, and they're either way outpriced that we'd never make the money back, or they just simply didn't want wrestling in.
Wow.
Christian Park never gave me any kind of grief. The city of Indianapolis has been a great partner as well, because we have to get permission from them to be able to run in the city parks.
And Indianapolis is a hotbed for professional wrestling.
Oh, that is true.
And right here, WellsMania Podcast, I broadcast my show literally in the heart of downtown Indianapolis. So a lot of people don't think that there is a hot commodity for professional wrestling, but you would be wrong if you're one of those people that thinks like that, because it's everywhere.
It is. And, there's promotions that have been here for 15 years that are, kind of a competitor of mine. And there's shows that
you don't
open
have
up
to
every
mention
day.
them on this show if you don't want to do that.
No worries. And there's shows that I got my start on that run in the area. And Indianapolis has always been a big wrestling city. We actually paid a researcher to write us a nice little story about Dick the Bruiser.
Yeah, legendary Dick the Bruiser.
And the history of Indianapolis and what Indianapolis means to wrestling and what wrestling means to Indianapolis. And we think that's actually a big deal, and that'll get people to come to the shows. We crowned, we've only run 2 shows so far. Conspiracy is actually our 3rd show. At our first show, we crowned the Indianapolis wrestling champion, Colton Cage. He's not just the champion of Upstart, he is the champion of Indianapolis. And we're hoping that he's revered with maybe 10, 20 years down the road, he'll be revered the same as, Reggie Miller or Peyton Manning.
An Indianapolis icon or figure of the city. Colton Cage, I was actually there. I watched that match. I thought it was fantastic. Now, originally, he was supposed to take on a WWE superstar, former WWE superstar, Kevin Thorne. But
Yes.
that didn't fall through, did it?
Well, Kevin does live in Hamilton County, where Thomas Wayne Oliver lives.
And Thomas is still here, by the way. He's
He's waiting his turn.
Patiently waiting his turn. I think he stepped outside the studio just a second ago, so we'll wait till he get him back in here.
Keep an eye on that guy, though. Kevin is from Hamilton County, but Kevin grew up in Tennessee, and Colton Cage is Indianapolis born and raised. I think he took a little bit of umbrage with that and attacked him before the match, and Kevin was unable to continue to actually have the match. It was a little hard on us in the back. We had to decide what to do. We actually had another challenger, Mega Mondo, step up. Mega Mondo put up a good fight, but unfortunately,
Friend of the WellsMania podcast is Mega Mondo.
Yeah, it's good. He's a good gorilla. But Colton Cage, he's a veteran, and he's like 6'5", 250,
big dude,
big guy, just in great shape as well. And he's ready to put the whole city on his back and let everybody know that. It's not just North Carolina. It's not New York City. It's not Georgia. Indianapolis is a wrestling city, and he is the champion.
I love that concept, by the way, of the Indianapolis wrestling champion, because you're not just representing Upstart Pro Wrestling, you're representing the entire city of Indianapolis and the entire state of Indiana. So Colton Cage, I think, is a very ideal champion of that clout to run around the city with that title. He actually successfully defended it at your last show, Retaliation, against Ace Perry, which I thought was an awesome match. And thank you for booking that, because
You're welcome.
I was just amazed at the match that those two guys put on, because Ace Perry, he's also very well known in the Indianapolis area, wrestles on all sorts of different local promotions. So for Colton Cage to defeat Mega Mondo and Ace Perry, those are 2 huge wins for Colton, and we'll get to who his opponent will be here at Conspiracy. Do you want to dive in to actually, before we dive into Conspiracy, there's an event coming up, a meet and greet event, Upstart Pro Wrestling in collaboration with Wrestle with This, another local independent wrestling promotion here in Indianapolis, on YouTube at Wrestle with This. You can go check them out there. What is going on September 19th at the Wild Beaver Saloon, downtown Indianapolis?
Well, we just decided to give everybody a chance to come out and see the wrestlers from Upstart and Wrestle with This. At Upstart, we're all about, for what is an Upstart, right? An Upstart's kind of a younger person getting into the business, but they got a little bit of swag, all right?
Right.
And that's what Upstarts are. And the guys from Wrestle with This, they all have they have that same Upstart swag. So we almost consider them family already. Some of them are going to be in our big $1,000 battle royal we'll be having. So.
I saw that. $1,000 on the line for the battle royal. We'll get to that here momentarily. Now I'm just going to go through the roster of who will be appearing at the Upstart Pro meet and greet. You've got Indianapolis champion Colton Cage,
Yes.
which is a huge get. So if you've ever wanted to meet a champion and possibly get a picture,
Yeah, and he'll have the belt with him too.
with the title,
It's one of the prettiest belts I've ever seen. It's got
great looking title.
the Indianapolis flag with the Indianapolis skyline transposed on it, and the actual blue belt for the the color of the city of Indianapolis. It's just, oof. I'd come out just to see that.
It's perfect. It's perfect. You've also got Dale Patricks,
Yes,
who's
yes.
who's a character in himself.
He looking at that poster, he's probably the only guy that I'd want to have a beer with.
Right.
Everybody else looks kind of mean. But
Right. He's got a big old grin on the poster.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
And then you've got Mega Mondo. He'll be there. Sadie Vander
I don't even know how to pronounce her last name.
Vanderkamp.
And I don't want her to beat me up for not saying it right.
We'll
so.
keep it Sadie V.
Yeah, Sadie V. That's Sadie V.
You got Anthony Lee. He'll also be there. And Stone Payne, WWT champion Stone Payne. I'm kind of curious because you got some dynamics here. Colton Cage, Mega Mondo, they had their differences. Mega Mondo and Stone Payne, obviously, if you follow both of them on Twitter, they absolutely have been feuding with each other. So, Jeremy, at the Wild Beaver Saloon, also Thomas Wayne Oliver, we'll get him in here in just a second. He'll also be at the Wild Beaver Saloon. What happens if there's a brawl in the bar?
Well, I'm really hoping that the Wild Beaver has security. But, I've actually frequented that place in the past to sing really bad karaoke, so I know they have security because they may have thrown me out a couple times. So,
Right. What's your go-to karaoke song, by the way?
Oh, boy. It's something by the Backstreet Boys. Whenever I'm feeling in that moment,
Right.
maybe like I want it that way. So tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache.
Rumor is you're actually the 6th Backstreet Boy.
Backstreet's back.
All right. So this event is Thursday, September 19th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Wild Beaver Saloon, 20 East Maryland Street, Indianapolis, Indiana. If you've ever wanted to meet a professional wrestler up close and personal, this is your opportunity to do that. Does it cost any money?
No, and actually, we're going to be giving away tickets to Conspiracy at the
nice.
at the meet and greet. We're also giving away some other Upstart merch. We got some shirts, we got some stickers, and we even have coasters we're giving out.
I love a good coaster. Now let's talk about the Conspiracy show. Saturday, September 21st at Christian Park Gym, English Avenue, Indianapolis, Indiana. Conspiracy, man. I'm looking at the poster right now, and it just looks like there's something going on. Conspiracy. It looks like the wrestlers are up to no good. Like they've been it's like newspaper clippings almost.
Yeah, I mean, there's always some kind of conspiracy going on in wrestling. There's a lot of politics in the back.
Big time.
I'm not really sure what's going on in this one yet. But I do have some breaking news, if you don't mind me.
Fire away. We love breaking news right here on WellsMania podcast.
Well, we haven't even released it on social media yet, but unfortunately, Sam Knight has injured his shoulder.
That's unfortunate.
And he will no longer be able to make it, and he was challenging for the championship. But we called Colton Cage. We offered to give him the night off, and he said no, he wanted the biggest dude or female that was there. So actually, he's going to be going up against upstart newcomer Anthony Lee.
Okay.
That he'll also be at the meet and greet. He's a big guy.
Wow.
When he's somebody I never want to get on his bad side. So I make sure that his pay is ready right before the show. So
wow. So you heard it right here on WellsMania episode 17. Breaking news: Sam Knight, due to injury, will not be able to participate at Conspiracy, but no worries. Newcomer to the Upstart Pro Wrestling, Anthony Lee, will step up and challenge Colton Cage for the Indianapolis Championship. That, Jeremy, it's got me goosebumps.
yeah, it's going to be a big match. I'm hoping that my ring crew has the ring put together well because Anthony Lee's a big dude and he's going to try to throw Colton Cage around, but Colton Cage also huge dude, and he's the champ. He's the man. So let's see. You got to make sure you come on out on September 21st, 5 p.m., Christian Park Gym, and come see who wins that one.
Now, we touched on this a little bit earlier. There's $1,000 on the line in a battle royal. And you mentioned some Wrestle with This superstars, Stone Payne, Mike James, Ravishing Anton. They're going to be in it. Who else is going to be in the Battle Royal that you can tell us?
Well, Anthony Lee actually was going to be in the Battle Royal, and he was my pick to win it. But
right.
He's no longer. So we do have the man that gravity never knew, Cinco.
Poor Cinco, man. I saw Mega Mondo launch him, and I hear he hasn't landed yet.
He hasn't, but he's Cinco may be less than 5 pounds, but his heart weighs 10,000 pounds. So
that's all that matters.
And he needs that money. We got RT Blaze. He'll be in there. I know he needs the money. Looking on the favorite sides, we have Sam Thompson. Sam Thompson, incredible competitor. He has his own little conspiracy going on with the music playing last month that cost him a win against Dale Patrick. But he wants the money. Everybody wants the $1,000, and it's going to be a heck of a fight. I'm almost disappointed that I can't get in there and try to win my own $1,000. But
well, you never know. You do run the show, so you could make a surprise cameo appearance.
I could, but I'm one of the smaller guys, so I don't want to get beat up by Sam Thompson looking to get that money.
Yeah, no doubt. Now I see Thomas Wayne Oliver. He's making his way back into the studio, and I don't know where you went, Thomas, but you also have a match at Conspiracy, and this is what we call in the wrestling biz a rubber match. You had a match against Coach Matthew Burns. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, Coach Matthew Burns.
You lost to him, right? The first match?
No, I beat him the first match.
Beat him the first. He beat you the second. That's why we're getting the rubber match here at Conspiracy. Now, I saw a promo that you did. It's a tuxedo match. What in the world is a tuxedo match?
That's what I said when Coach challenged me to a tuxedo match. I had no idea, so I did what anybody else would do. I turned to Google, and I found a video of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I've heard of him.
In a tuxedo match. The rules are both men start in a tuxedo. The first man to remove the other man's tuxedo wins.
Wow. That's simple.
Yeah, no holds barred. That's the only way to win. So,
well, do you think you're going to win this match?
Well, I dress nice every single day. Coach doesn't even wear matching shoes. I think he wears the same, orange pants and a t-shirt every single day. I think I've got an advantage here because I'm going to at least know how to, fasten my belt before the event.
Absolutely.
I am still a little sore from he gave me a black hole slam last time. I think he's like 6'5" and 300 pounds.
He is a big boy.
He gave me a top rope elbow drop. I never thought I would recover from that. I really didn't even want this match. I was perfectly fine with, I got one, he got one, let's let it go. But he had to have his own proposal because everybody knows that at the first Upstart event, I proposed to my girlfriend. And
congratulations.
Thank you. Big shout out to Kristen. And
got to give a shout out to the wife, the future wife.
That is true. But so I never really asked for the match, but he decided to ask the ring announcer to marry him. Of course, she said no. Everybody's laughing.
Right.
He's embarrassed, so he thinks he's going to embarrass me in a tuxedo match. Please, okay? I'm trying not to sound like a jerk here, but, that's my element. I dress nice, style and profiling, just like Ric Flair, all right? One of my heroes, okay?
You do look nice, by the way. I will say that.
I actually wore this at an event. This is my ring gear suit jacket. I wore this at an event, and then I saw Batista wearing the same jacket like 2 weeks later. And I'm like, of course, he was probably in the arena where I was wrestling, got an eye on me, and then decided to wear the same thing. But
he ripped you off.
He did.
Is what happened.
He did.
So you hear that, Batista? How about we challenge you to a match? Thomas Wayne Oliver versus Batista at a future Upstart Pro Wrestling. Do it. You won't, Batista.
He probably won't.
He's afraid of you. That's why.
You could probably say that.
I'm saying that so that way he could come after me, Dave Bautista. You can come after WellsMania.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get out of here.
Well, thank you, Thomas Wayne Oliver. Good luck at Conspiracy. I'm pulling for you. I think you're going to rip the tuxedo off of the coach. My money is on TWO. And Jeremy, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy life to join me on episode 17 of WellsMania podcast. Before I let you go, where can people get tickets for the Conspiracy show? Where can people follow you on social media?
Well, the best place is on our social media. So on Twitter, we're Upstart Pro. On Facebook, we're Upstart PW. And there's links. We tweet and we post almost every day, all original content, videos, the match graphics. We want to keep people engaged in what's going on. One thing I know, but when I first started going to shows is I didn't know what's going on. So I was watching, I don't know what the storylines or what's going on. If you go to our social media, you follow us on social media, heck, if you even follow WellsMania, you'll know what's going on.
Absolutely, I got you.
And you'll have a great time.
There you have it. Thank you, principal owner Jeremy Howell from Upstart Pro Wrestling and Upstart Pro Wrestling superstar Thomas Wayne Oliver. That is September 19th, Thursday. Meet and greet with your favorite Upstart and Wrestle with This wrestlers, superstars at the Wild Beaver Saloon, and also Saturday, September 21st at the Christian Park Gym, 4200 English Avenue. Conspiracy. We've said too much. You're listening to episode 17 of WellsMania podcast.
Welcome back to a brand new hybrid episode of WellsMania podcast. If you couldn't tell, this is the video portion of the show. Thank you to my guests, Jeremy Howell, the Upstart Pro Wrestling principal owner, and Upstart Pro Wrestling superstar Thomas Wayne Oliver, for dropping all that awesome, entertaining knowledge on Upstart Pro Wrestling and the collaboration with Wrestle with This at the Best Damn Karaoke Bar for the meet and greet with Upstart Pro Wrestling superstars and Wrestle with This superstars on September 19th. Next week. You do not want to miss that at the Wild Beaver Saloon. Megamondo will be there. Will you be there? I'm going to break down WWE Clash of Champions. And yes, I'm wearing the Becky Lynch The Man t-shirt. You can get this on Homage.com. It's a very soft shirt. Feels great. Homage does not sponsor this show, although you could. Homage, if you would like to sponsor WellsMania, you're more than welcome to. I think we follow each other on Twitter, so maybe I'll make that happen. I'm looking at the card over here to the left. My intern is holding up the cue card for me. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't have interns. You kidding me? No one even watches this show. You're not even watching right now. But if you are, thank you. Thank you very much. It's video. I know. It's something different. We've got Bayley, the SmackDown Women's Champ. She's putting her title on the line against Charlotte Flair, and I like Charlotte Flair, the queen of all eras, to defeat Bayley to become a 10-time women's champion in, well, her backyard of North Carolina. So Charlotte Flair, friend of the WellsMania podcast, congratulations. You're about to get a new reign as the SmackDown Women's Champ. Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, they're the Raw Tag Team Champions, and they're going up against Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Well, guess what? I love that Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect will become Tag Team Champions at Clash of Champions, defeating Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. And if you follow me on Twitter, at WellsMania, I have a hot take regarding Corey Graves. This is my hot take regarding Corey Graves. He should manage Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. That's right. He should be a modern-day Bobby the Brain Heenan. That's genius. I know. Underrated. Always flying under the radar. The next match is Seth Rollins, the Universal Champion, versus Braun Strowman. And this is the reason why they're dropping the Raw Tag Team titles, so they could actually have a nice feud as enemies and not that weird, we're forced together, but do we have to work together? We're Raw Tag Team Champs, so we got to defend our titles together. But really, I want the Universal title, but I want to keep the Universal title. Are we friends? Are we not friends? I don't know, but now we do know, because they're going to drop the Raw Tag Team titles. And I like Braun Strowman to finally win the Universal title. Can you believe it, that he's never won a title outside of the tag team titles in WWE? I know. Mind blown. I like Braun Strowman to finally overcome that stat and become the new Universal Champion. WWE Champion Kofi Kingston goes up against Randy Orton. My girlfriend, she loves Randy Orton, so she's going to, well, she loves me too, but she's going to love this pick. Babe, I got Randy Orton defeating Kofi Kingston to become the new WWE Champion. That takes us to a triple threat match for the Cruiserweight title. The champ is Drew Gulak, and he's going up against Humberto Carrillo. I'm sorry, I probably didn't say that right. And Lince Dorado. Well, I like Drew Gulak to retain the Cruiserweight title. The New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods, SmackDown Tag Team Champs, going up against the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, who are not on SmackDown. But who cares anymore, right? We know that there's a draft coming soon when October rolls around, so who cares? The wild card rule doesn't even really matter. I like the Revival, though, to defeat Big E, completing the trifecta where Randy Orton, he wins the WWE title. Scott Dawson, he wins the SmackDown Tag Team title. And Dash Wilder also wins the SmackDown Tag Team title. The trifecta for the RKO. I think that's what they're called. Intercontinental titles on the line. Shinsuke Nakamura versus The Miz. The Miz out to become a 9-time Intercontinental Champion. It's not going to happen. We all know Sami Zayn is going to get involved. He's going to distract The Miz. Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win. He's going to retain the IC title. Becky Lynch, she's on my shirt. She puts the Raw Women's title on the line against Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is going to win this match. No, she's not going to become the new Raw Women's Champion. Natalya is going to get revenge on Sasha Banks. Oh, don't think Natalya forgot Sasha, because she didn't. She's going to cost you this match just like you costed her match at SummerSlam. Full circle. Becky still the Raw Women's Champion, but Sasha wins via DQ. The next match is Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan in a no DQ match. I love that Eric Rowan is finally getting this monster push that he should have gotten. It's kind of been teased there for a while, but he's never really explored with it. So with that being said, as much as I love Roman Reigns, Eric Rowan needs to win this match. No DQ. I think he'll find a way to stop the big dog. I hate Michael Cole, by the way. I can't stand Michael Cole. I hate when he says the big dog, and I hate when he says it's boss time. Michael Cole just needs to go. Okay? Tweet at WellsMania. Tell me your thoughts on Michael Cole. The next match is for the women's tag team titles. Yes, they still exist. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are the champs. Going up against Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. I love Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville to win this match to become the new women's tag team champions. And that leaves us with the United States title. It's on the line. AJ Styles is the champ. He's going up against Cedric Alexander. AJ Styles will retain the United States Championship. There you have it. Those are my predictions for this Sunday's Clash of Champions. Tweet at WellsMania. Let me know what you think. How did you like the hybrid episode of WellsMania podcast? Tweet at WellsMania again. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Enjoy WWE Clash of Champions. Until next episode, take care and dominate the day.